been forever since I talked about some pretty cool topic that I think is cool, right? It's a little deep, I think, but also I think once you hear this, you'll be able to actually see reality for what it is. I think this is like just the truth of reality, right? Um, it has something to do with like chaos and order, good and evil, maybe the evolution of the all-seeing eye, okay? And to make it make sense, I will try to talk about um, cops and robbers, right? We're cops and like criminals, to make it make sense, I suppose. All right, but I think obviously we know what chaos and order is, right? Things seem to have more order when you can actually see things happening, right? There's light showing upon the subject, right? Broad daylight, you're not going to really committing any chaotic things like crimes or something like that. It's the light, you know what I mean? All that good stuff. But come nighttime, it's like a veil, right, of a security in which you can actually just do whatever you want. Right? And it's chaotic. It can be chaotic, but it doesn't mean it's good or evil, so to speak. Um, and maybe I forgot the whole idea of what's good and evil in this, but like when you think about this aspect of the all-seeing eye, um, because it's artificial now, like because we're not looking through the right lens, um, the balance is being like tipped, so to speak. And we have the power to change it, but we can't see what's happening. So the all-seeing eye being something artificial used to be something inherent within us. All right. I think that is a good explanation of why people might say, okay, we're woke. I mean, we're asleep, and now we're woke, third eye, and all that stuff. Um, but like before even people started talking about that, all-seeing eye might have just been looking up in the sky and it being the sun, right? And then there's still the other side of the moon, and then you still have the spiritual aspects of one being dark and feminine, this, that, and the third, like psychology, like psychic stuff. With the sun, there's order, there's all that good stuff. All right, but so anyway, the all-seeing eye could have started at what people looked up in the sky and said, "All right, boom," and then it evolved to like a god. Now you have a god that can now see everything, much how the sun and the moon's always watching down over us, right? Much how in Christian, Roman Catholicism, the God is omniscient, omnipotent, whatever. He can see and be everything and everywhere at once, okay? Which reminds me of a movie that's called like Everything Everywhere All at Once, all right? A lot of chaos, but it was a movie. You understood what's happening, so there was a little bit of order in there. But it kind of shows that what do we have nowadays that can be everywhere, everything at once, hear everything, see everything, right? This is still the evolution of the all-seeing eye. Is now surveillance, right? It's our cameras. So as we have closed our eyes, all right, and we've closed our mind eye, we now have the lenses of like a computer screen, a phone screen, the cameras and all that stuff. And that's where people like get the idea of them being asleep. They wake up, the Matrix and all that stuff. They get to see reality for what it is. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, people are so far stuck in the technology. It's very interesting. And I can swear they made movies about this when I was a kid, all right? And they don't make movies like this any longer, all right? And it's not just that, right? They have movies about like dreams dying and all that stuff. Like it's kid movies, right? The movies back in the day were weird because they always had a bit of horror in it. They still showed kids like deeper messages and stuff like that. I don't think people were reading in between the lines, all right? But surveillance is a very interesting thing because when you have a lot of surveillance, you can keep things in order, right? Because much how our eyes work, they take in light and you get to see things. Much how I said earlier, light, there's order, blah, blah, blah. So surveillance. Right, let's watch all these humans, okay, while they're in the veil of darkness, just being chaotic, and they can do whatever they want done because, like, we can't see what's actually happening. There's no transparency, you know what I mean? So, and to be good, right, to make sure everyone was being watched over carefully, this, that, and the third, to be good, right? Like I said, they made the cameras and stuff like that. I'm not saying that's why they made them, this, that, but, like, that's, like, you understand, like, it's a very big thing in our reality, right? In just the world that we live in right now, like, reality could be anything else right now, right? We don't have to have, like, a drug problem in America, or homelessness and all that stuff. Like, a lot of things could be different, okay? We could be using technology more progressively than using our own technology to watch our own selves. Like, imagine your company hiring you, and they have, like, they hiring you to, like, be a security guard, right? And then, they make sure there's cameras pointing on you to make sure you're doing your job. right? That doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could use this stuff for other things, you know what I mean? But I guess humans are human, right? There's a degree of chaos and variation or variant that will go down a different path sometimes, right? But there's nothing bad about that. It's just chaotic, you know what I mean? If I'm working 6 hours out of like an 8 hour shift or something like that, and I decide to get ice cream, that's chaotic, you know what I'm saying? I'd also get you fired, right? But no one said it was bad. But anyway, using surveillance for bad, right? Imagine this. Because I was just thinking, like, they have all the body cams and all this tech and stuff like that to watch us, like cops and stuff, body cams, and yet they're still doing bad stuff. They're still killing people, just to kill them, this, that, and the third, and we see it happening. You know what I mean? Okay. Then I start to think about the other side of that, like criminals. What if criminals just implemented the same logic or technology, like drug dealers or something like that? Like, I'm just saying, like body cams and all sorts of stuff. Like, I mean, it might be. I feel like you wouldn't get caught. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just do the same shit. Like, that might be a bad analogy to explain, like, good or evil, because like they'd be doing it because it's a good idea, I'd imagine, but it'd be for evil purposes. You know what I'm saying? So it's just there's duality to that. You know, it's the same thing with cops. Like, good thing to have your body cams and all that stuff, but now it's like it seems like the cops are evil. You know what I mean? But yeah, and it's just like all the while, even though we get to, it's like we're spectating it at this point. It's like we're spectating life because we're seeing everything play out and we're living in it. But it's like we're more detached from actually living it and experiencing it. We're more so just watching it. You know what I mean? And it's just, there's a word that I thought of maybe like last year, 2 years ago, called pseudo experience. You know what I'm saying? We're experiencing things, but not really experiencing because it's not really happening to us. And that's how we learn, right? Without actually doing things. We're learning a lot about ourselves the more we just see everything unfold, you know. Can't tell if it's like true human nature as to what this is, because now in the light of day, with all eyes on you, people are still doing acts of evil. You know what I'm saying? They're not even doing it behind closed doors or anything like that. And it just could be what humanity is without like a true light to guide them, right? Without any true goal or purpose, because maybe there's not really like anything to see at the end of the tunnel for us. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like maybe there's people at the top that know that and just try to have fun with what there is at the time. And is there anything good or bad about that? Who knows?